In mild cases or in asymptomatic cases, multivitamin are the only treatment which can be given, and this can be added on by certain things like simple anti-allergics, या अगर थोड़ा fever वगैरह है तो antibiotic, antacid, if there are loose motions associated with certain things, then that. So in asymptomatic or in milder cases, it's just multivitamins which can happen. But is multivitamin the only treatment for coronavirus? Is an absolutely wrong thing. One should come and visit COVID wards, should see COVID patients and the variety of presentation the COVID patients have. When they cross their asymptomatic phase, or when they cross their mild stage and become moderately severe, become more severe, and go to non-invasive ventilator and go to ventilators, then at every step the treatment changes. At that moment of time, when the severity of the disease increases, it is not just multivitamins that work. However, it is said that for all viral diseases, no treatment is done, but this is not a simple virus who's just going to go away in moderate, severe, and severely severe. The cost of the treatment again is a varying thing. Now we will say that I would like to talk more about private hospitals, and at the end of this I will just add one line about the government hospital part of it. In private hospital, the treatment entirely depends upon which ward you are choosing and what severity of the disease you have. So if you are asymptomatic or you have mild disease and you have chosen to be in general ward, then the cost of treatment is very, very less. But that cost of treatment is there. It has to be there, because uh, government is doing lot of things for outside people, but we at private hospitals are bearing the cost of our own staff. We have to pay to our doctors, and we have to pay to everybody who is working around. So the cost of the treatment in private hospitals is a bit more as compared to the cost of treatment in government hospital. Uh, Nothing is free even in the government hospitals as well. Some cost is attached to government hospitals also. However, the cost in government hospital is less. It is because government hospital is completely a funded hospital. Every salary, everything is paid by the government. However, in private hospital, this is not the scenario. You have to use your mediclaims, but there are certain standards of minimum cost of therapy that is being decided so that patients' pockets are not overburdened. And even the mediclaim has the TPAs have come to a common platform with the private industries of hospital, that this is the cost we will be charging to the patient if the mediclaims are used. I wish in this pandemic the government would have taken the charge of private hospital doctors as well, the private hospital staffs as well, wherein we would have been paid by government also, and this responsibility of taking the payment from the patients would not have been a burden to any of the private hospitals.
One more question has come. A person recovered from COVID-19. Is there any chance he will get COVID infected again?
First of all, recovery of a COVID-19 needs to be absolutely confirmed COVID-19 negative test. So you will say that a person is having COVID-19, a person is completely recovered from COVID-19 only when the COVID-19 nasopharyngeal swab is negative, or if you have IgM or IgG antibody. So if you have established the fact that patient recovered completely, present study that has come in Hindustan Times today only has said that the antibodies protection for coronavirus is just for 3 to 4 months presently. What happens in future, nobody knows, because this is a new disease and all the research workers are still in the process of studying the virus. And but today's study that has come in Hindustan Times and Times of India clearly says that immunity is also short term. So there are chances that if you have recovered, you can get it again. but that getting ahead is also at the cost of your lowered immunity because of certain things. If you have recovered completely and if you're still working on your immunity, you can prevent yourself from a reinfection.
One more question has come. Is it necessary to take bath and wash clothes every time when we come from market or any other social place in our home?
First of all, please don't go to any social place for the time being. Then half of the things are sorted out there only. Yes, of course, when you go to a market or when you go to buy your groceries or when you attend hospitals, it is important to go and take a shower and wash your clothes. You never know how many asymptomatic careers you have crossed upon. And although the cloth does not have the virus, but when we are touching, our cloth cannot give you the virus, but when we are touching, our hands can get contaminated. So to be on the safer side, minimize your outings. Do not go to market every now and then for small, so that the question of rewashing clothes, retaking bath does not arise. Try to go out once in 2 to 3 days. And then once you come back, please take a shower. Please wash your own clothes by yourself and keep yourself safe. And socializing, try to avoid these as much as possible.
One more question. Many countries claiming that they found medicine of COVID. Is it true? If yes, then when it will be available to public? Where is India standing in this case?
Uh, to claim is a very good thing. We can claim. We claimed HCQ also to be a very good drug, but that's just claimed. Nothing has come on papers that this is the drug. For example, chloroquine is the drug for malaria. This is the drug for HIV. There is no drug for dengue. So presently, we don't have a documented drug for COVID-19. However, there are certain drugs which are under trial, out of which remdesivir is one of the prominent drug, and that is promising results in those patients who are on ventilators or who are severely affected. There are two other drugs, lopinavir and ritonavir, in combinations that we are presently using in all our COVID-infected patients, and even that is found to work well. But documented evidence of an anti-coronavirus drug is no.
One more question has come. Is it necessary to use N95 mask only or a simple mask will do?
Very good question. अगर आप घर में हैं और if your maids are coming and you are using a simple cloth mask, that's fine. You can use them and you can wash them on a daily basis and make sure that they are sterilized. अगर आप बहुत open space में कहीं walk वगैरह कर रहे हैं और आप पूरी तरीके से श्योर हैं कि यहाँ पर आगे के 2 किलोमीटर तक, पीछे के 2 किलोमीटर ज्यादा लोग मिलने वाले नहीं है, आप कपड़े का मास्क यूज कर सकते हैं. बट कुछ कंडीशंस ऐसी हैं जहां पर आपको N95 ही यूज करना चाहिए. फॉर एग्जांपल, इफ यू आर ए सीनियर सिटीजन and if you're just going for a simple walk also, if you're diabetic, if you're immunocompromised, if you have heart disease, or if you have any debilitating disease, to be on the safer side, please use N95 mask or the mask which are recommended. It's not because it is only N95 mask which is going to give you protection. It is because you are at a high risk. You can catch infection faster than a younger population. So for your safety, this particular category should use outside N95 and inside they can use anything.
A very good question has come up. Nurses and other paramedical staffs who are considered as an important part of the team are becoming resistant due to various reasons. How do we deal with the negativity and the resistance?
Can you please repeat the question?
Nurses and other paramedical staffs who are considered as an important part of the team are becoming resistant due to various reasons. How do we deal with this negativity?
Yes, very good question. Even we have been facing in our hospital the same thing. And our managing director has clearly told in an interview that 40% of our staff has already left by the time the COVID, we were somewhere in the middle of April and the early May. So the fear is quite obvious. They are human beings. To fear is a natural thing. To become resistant and not wanting to work in COVID pandemic is a natural thing. So it's, for me, it's not a very big thing that people won't run away from work. People won't be wanting to work, because for them their life is important, their parents' life is important, their kids' life is important, and for them they are the priority, and it's absolutely fine. But on the other hand, these paramedical people carry a social responsibility, and I would simply like to give a simple quote to them कि चाइना बॉर्डर पे फाइट हुई, अगर वो सोल्जर्स वहां से डर से भाग जाते तब क्या होता, या अगर कोई वॉर है वहां से अगर सोल्जर्स भाग जाएंगे तो क्या हम सेफ हैं, क्या हम शांति से सो सकते हैं? तो टुडे वी नर्सेस, वी पैरामेडिक्स, वी डॉक्टर्स, वी हॉस्पिटल स्टाफ आर द फ्रंट लाइन वॉरियर्स. The whole war is in our hand. Although we are scared, but we have this responsibility of taking this pandemic over, and taking it not just in a simple way, by taking it in a very, very courageous manner and in a very peaceful manner. But for this,
One more question has come. When a family member is tested positive for COVID, the rest of the family member cannot meet the patient and are not aware of the diagnosis of the patient. So, what are some of the precautions to be taken by the family member, and how can they get connected with the admitted patient in the COVID ward?
I want the question to be repeated again.
When a family member is tested positive for COVID, the rest of the family become very anxious about the diagnosis as they cannot stay with them in the hospital. What are some of the precautions to be taken by the family members, and how can they be connected to the patient admitted in the COVID ward?
Yes, this we also realized this after 2 months of treating COVID patient, that we admit COVID patients, and for 14 days the relatives were not asked to meet the people. Now the person who's there, the patient who's there in the infected person who's there in the hospital, he is in the safe hands of doctors. Doctors are taking care of them. But the other side of the story of the family member, they don't know anything about what is happening to the patient. And the most important worry is the prognosis part, hospital food. Majority, whatever best food you give, most of the people won't like hospital food. And then the psychosocial impact of it, uh, anxiety, depression, worry, everything was coming around. So we should develop a team in hospital where every COVID positive patient's feedback should be given on a day-to-day basis to the relatives in the house. Practically, this was not possible till now because everything was in mess in first 2 months. Things were not very well set in place. But now most of the hospitals will develop this system that a patient is admitted and one person will be there from the hospital who will be giving daily information or update about that particular patient to the relatives in the house who are not supposed to come and meet. And I think this will to a great extent reduce the anxiety and worry of people.
Uh, One more question has come. Can COVID-19 patient be treated?
Mild cases and asymptomatic cases, yes, can be quarantined in the house and can be treated in the house as well. US and some other countries have applied this formula, but the only thing is, in a country like India, we were not very sure that how much responsibility will a positive person take in the house to be completely quarantined, not to touch anybody, not to at all. And if they really do not take this responsibility, this pandemic would have been spread in India almost 100 times as compared to whatever time it has spread till now. And another important factor by which in India or especially in Maharashtra we are not allowing the treatment at home is how many of the families, majority of the patients class belong to below middle class. How many of them have the luxury of having one separate room for themselves? it's really very easy to say for home treatment, for home quarantine, but for majority of the population in a country like India, it's very difficult. So in a country of like India, this is being strictly restricted, that you be in the hospital so that it doesn't multiply much more than that. Multiplication will only affect the health industry, and the infrastructure will be completely lost with mild and asymptomatic cases, and for the severe ones there will be no space to treat them.
We have with us the Chief Nursing of Noble Hospital, Trupti Nanda. I hand over the questions to her.
Ma'am, I think you have addressed so many interesting questions and all. I would like to ask you one question, like which whenever I go across, I get to hear about it. How it is different between the N95 mask and N95 mask with respirator. So, like all the senior people, older people in my society, they do ask, should they buy the N95 mask or should they buy the N95 mask with respirator? If you just can address that question.
What is your honest opinion about this question? First you tell me, then I would highlight.
I think N95 mask would be good enough.
Have you seen people using respirators and opening them? Seen people using respirators and opening them, so that again becomes one source of infection. So you actually don't have to use respirators, but then again, like when we are using cloth masks, we can use respirators also, but high risk population we should go for N95. Reason of N95 is the pore. The pore of N95 is made in such a way that the virus cannot penetrate. The size of the pore of N95 is smaller than the size of the coronavirus or most of the viruses, and that is how it prevents the virus from going to your mouth and nose. That's the whole idea. So respirator, once you open, you are taking that. You don't know who's crossing by you, and you take it over that way. Now about the N95 mask also. Now, about N95 mask, I would say many people are wearing the mask wrongly. Many people are removing the mask normally. So if this is an N95 mask, and if we wear it like this, we are wearing it like this. So this is the external surface where the external contamination and the external virus is there. Our mouth and our nose is inside this. Now people are using this, but while they are going to market, or while they are coming to hospitals, or while they are going to take their parcels, what they do is they simply will do it like this, collect their parcel or will go. This is one common thing. Secondly, they will hang it over it like this. Third, they will do it like this, up. So there are various ways you can remove the mask, but these are not the correct ways of removing the mask. Your inside of the mask is safe, is carrying your virus, your infection. Outside is fully contaminated. And if we are touching the outside part of this, we are contaminating our palms. And this is the source of infection to anybody else, and this is the source of infection to you yourself. So the best way and the ideal way to remove or use a mask is do it like this, take it out, and then keep it like this opposite. If you have to reuse it, again take it from inside, put it like this, and again reuse it. This is the right way of using. And this N95 mask can be used 5 times. Use it today till 24 hours, write number 1 and hang it on a hanger. Tomorrow, use number 2, hang it on a hanger, 3, 4, 5, rotate. So your 1 month goes by 5 N95 masks. And while you hang them off, it doesn't contain it is almost out of the external contamination which it was already having. For cloth masks, you have to wash them on a daily basis.
Thank you, ma'am. That was quite interesting and elaborative answer. Going further, I have one more question, ma'am. Because our population is like 2% of our population are the children or the newborns. So because of this COVID pandemic, we are scared to come to the hospital for the immunization schedule. Most of the parents are messed up with the entire immunization schedule. So what do you like to say about it?
Uh, the only one line answer for this, please do not miss the immunization schedule of your children by any means. You must have seen NDTV now. You must have seen CNN News now. You must have seen Times now. On one side of the news, there is continuous ad for taking your children for regular vaccination, which was scheduled as before, with due precautions, with due measures, using more clinics. Please complete the vaccination schedule of your children and do not miss them by any means. And not just vaccination of children, the adult vaccination program should be equally followed in the geriatric population, and even they should be immunized, and even they should be brought to hospital for the same thing.